days. The center at Sir Henry Hospital is one of 3 research centers in the Eastern Cape. The staff say that the vaccine rollout to healthcare workers is going smoothly. However, more personnel will be needed during the next phases. Atule Joka has more.
We are at Sir Henry Hospital here in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. Since the morning, thousands of healthcare workers have been on queues, ready to take those jabs, ready to take their inoculations. Since the 17th of February, over 5,000 jabs have arrived here at this research center here for some of the healthcare workers to complete this first phase of inoculating healthcare workers here in the Eastern Cape. So people are ready. We did speak to some of the healthcare workers earlier on. They did indicate to us that they are ready, they are excited. They want to get to be protected so that they can go ahead, especially when the surge of the third wave is coming ahead. So one of the fundamental points here is the research unit, which is here today, which receives those vaccines which are coming from Belgium. When they take them from their research center in Joburg, they have to be stored here in a very cold conditions, below the temperatures. But I have the director of the research unit here, Dr. Mthatha, who will tell us more about the process of these jabs when they arrive here, how they prepare them and send them through for the inoculations. Doc, let us welcome you to SABC News.
Thank you very much, Atule.
Thank you, Doc. If you can elaborate to us, tell us more as to when the vaccines arrive here, how you prepare them and to send them through for those inoculations.
Okay, just as a reminder, the J&J vaccine is still under investigation or under research. So it is stored and prepared under the research conditions or the research requirements. So when we receive it, we receive it and store it in the specialized equipment, that is the specialized fridges and the freezers. And also the preparation takes place under the same specialized requirements. So once it is prepared, it is then transported to the vaccination center, which you can see behind us. So we have our pharmacists that prepare the vaccine in the research unit, and then when it is ready, then it is transported to the research unit, to the vaccination center.
Oh, okay. So when it leaves your research center, it goes already as jabs. You have already taken it.
Yes. What happens is that when they place an order, that they have so many people who are coming for vaccination on a particular day, then the pharmacy will prepare those. Then they will not leave the pharmacy as the vials. The vials are prepared, they are leaving there as doses ready to be vaccinated or ready to be administered. So they leave as jabs, in other words.
And have you experienced any maybe complaints, and also how are the healthcare workers ready when you speak to them around this vaccine?
They are actually looking forward to it. There was some hesitancy in the beginning for various reasons. But now most people are ready, as you can see out here, people are ready to be inoculated because they want to. And based on the information that they see or what they see in other centers, they are ready to be vaccinated.
And also, Doc, when you receive these vaccines, you receive them as a huge number of batches. We wanted. The minister will be here to check the capacity and so forth. Do you think you are ready, especially when that mass rollout is coming through?
In terms of capacity, because right now the phase that we are looking at is the phase 1, which is the healthcare workers. We have enough capacity to store the vaccine and prepare it for the healthcare workers, but definitely we will need capacitation when it comes to the rollout to the communities. When we go to the next phase, which is the essential workers and other people, then definitely the research center will need to be beefed up to assist in that regard.
One of the talking points, obviously, in the country as a whole, Doc, is the issue of the load shedding. Because you have to store these vaccines in a certain temperature, does that maybe temper with the temperatures there? And also how are you dealing with that, if you can elaborate to us more?
Because it's not the first time that the research unit is dealing with the vaccines. So we always have backup plans. We have backup generators, we have UPSs, which is uninterrupted supply. Yes, so we have that backup so that we maintain that cold chain all the time.
Maybe, Doc, if you can explain to us, for someone who doesn't know, what could go wrong? Do you know?
In terms of preparation or between the time that they stored?
Yeah, if you can elaborate extensively on just on vaccines.
Okay, I think the worst case scenario is when you cannot maintain the temperature, because if you cannot maintain the temperature, then it means that batch will not be usable. That the worst case scenario will be when maybe there is load shedding and then something happens to the backup plan, and the backup of the backup does not kick in, which is very unlikely, because when you have so many backup, it means you have a contingency plan. So there is always a plan. We know that something could go wrong, and therefore you have a backup plan.
Doc, I just want you to also tell us, ever since you started with these vaccines earlier, when did you start again? In January?
We started on the 17th of February.
Yes. How many people up to those 5, you can confirm that as well?
It's more than 3,000 already as of yesterday. But as you can see, by end of today, we'll have more people vaccinated.
Okay. And also, since it's a research unit, do you have to write a feedback as to how this was conducted as well to J&J to show the outcome of the procedure of the vaccine?
The way the study is conducted is multi-site. So Mthatha is one of the research units that are conducting the study. All the information, all the data that is collected here goes to the central point. So Mthatha does not report as a site, but South Africa will report as a site. So at the end of each day, the information on the data is collected, and then it goes to the central location.
Dr. Mthatha, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks to you, Atule.
Okay. Well, that was Dr. Mthatha, Director of Research Unit here at Sir Henry Elliott Hospital, telling us more that they need to be very vigilant and very disciplined in handling those vaccines, and saying they do have contingency plans to make sure that anything doesn't go wrong with these vaccines here. From myself, Atule Joka, colleague Kubasi, back to you, studio.